Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be front and center. You can watch this program live on our Facebook page, Radyo Pilipinas World Service. And also you can hear us live on our live audio streaming on PBS Receiver app. So join us for another edition of Front and Center with your host, Jerome Toledo. And today we are joined by the COMELEC spokesperson to talk about the placing of a certain Maguindanao del Norte town under COMELEC control, as well as some candidates using an emergency broadcast system to disseminate, instead of a life-saving messages, but a campaign message. And to talk about that, we have now on the line the spokesperson of Commission on Elections, Director John Rex Laujanco. Director Laujanco, thank you for joining us in the program.
Good morning, Sir Jerome, and to all the viewers of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas and everyone. Good morning.
Thank you. Okay, so a certain town in Maguindanao del Norte is now under COMELEC control, which is the Datu Odin Sinsuat in Maguindanao del Norte. So, can you tell us, Director, what is or what would it take for a town like Datu Odin Sinsuat to be placed under COMELEC control? What will be the setup?
Hello. Even before the placing of the town of Datu Odin Sinsuat, Maguindanao del Norte under COMELEC control, we had already evaluated such and placed it under the areas of concern under the category red. It's because of the presence of the armed groups, the intense political rivalry, history of election-related violence, and of course, the addition of the killing of the election officer in that town. So under the COMELEC control, the system is not designed to scare away the people. The system is not designed to impede the delivery of government services, but instead this power is given to COMELEC to ensure that elections will be held in a safe and lawful manner during the intended date of the elections.
Okay, and that includes police visibility in the area in coordination with the poll body.
That is correct, because right now the Philippine National Police, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and other law enforcement and security agencies of the government are under the deputation of the Commission on Elections. We will ensure that the use of these law enforcement and security personnel will be deployed in accordance with the requirements, security requirements in that particular locality, especially now that we had perceived the intense political rivalry as being the cause of the violent situation there in Datu Odin Sinsuat.
I see. And besides Datu Odin Sinsuat is now placed under COMELEC control, do you see any other places in the country that will be placed on the same control of the COMELEC?
Right now, we don't see any other locality to be placed under COMELEC control, while there are 35 other localities which have been placed in a red category. There is still no reason for us to place them under COMELEC control. Not yet. We have no reason to do that.
And how do we ensure that our election officers as well as teachers that will serve in the May 12 election will be protected from any violence coming from either an armed group or a warring political groups?
COMELEC had already tasked the AFP and the PNP to ensure the safety of all poll workers, and that includes COMELEC election officers and election assistants, including that of the members of the electoral boards, particularly the teachers. It is part of their security mandate, and that is why we had tasked all election officers in the field to closely coordinate with their local counterparts, not only to ensure the deployment of the security personnel, but also to ensure that security measures are in place, including the checkpoints and the intense anti-criminality efforts will be supported in this election.
I see. Okay. Before we end the interview for this morning, Director Laudianco. So, there's a development over the weekend, particularly this alleged use of emergency cell broadcast system, or ECBS, or also known as a text blast system. Some some politicians use that to campaign instead of using that technology in life saving or sending life saving messages. So, what is what is the stand of COMELEC regarding the usage of this technology? Is this prohibited under election laws?
Two things. First, the use of text blasting equipment and paraphernalia are strictly regulated and prohibited under the laws pertaining to the mandate of the National Telecommunications Commission. Second, that the use of such is considered as unlawful campaigning, not being part of the lawful campaign methods being allowed under law, and therefore we referred the matter to the National Telecommunications Commission for a deeper investigation in order to trace such and attribute such whether to a particular candidate or a political party. And after the determination of such, we will be initiating a preliminary investigation to determine the liability of the source of that text blast.
And would that constitute to a disqualification if a candidate was found guilty of using that technology?
That is correct. Any violation of the Fair Elections Act may and will result into the filing of criminal or election offense cases, as well as the accompanying disqualification cases against involved politicians and candidates.
Okay, and one last thing, Director Laudianco, do you have any coordination right now with NTC to at least resolve this problem? Because as we know, this is becoming an unfair election practice because it uses a technology wherein it only uses for delivering life-saving messages, whether in an emergency situation during the storms or earthquake. Did you have any coordination with the NTC?
That is correct. Not only coordination, but the National Telecommunications Commission is a deputized agency by the COMELEC, and therefore, in furtherance of the election mandate, COMELEC will be issuing orders to the NTC to ensure that this will not happen again.
I see. Okay, and with that, thank you so much for joining us in the program, Director John Rex Laudianco, the spokesperson of Commission on Elections. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, and good day.
And you just heard and watched the interview of the program Front and Center to COMELEC spokesperson Director John Rex Laudianco discussing the situation in Datu Odinsin Suwat in Maguindanao, where it is now placed under COMELEC control, and as well as the usage of the text blast system, which is becoming an unfair practice for politicians. And when we come back, we will have more stories coming your way, and Front and Center will return.
Hatol ng Bayan. Election Quick Facts. Campaign period. Ang opisyal na campaign period para sa mga national candidates ay magsisimula sa February 9, 2025 at mayroon silang 90 days para mangampanya. Samantala, mayroon namang 45 days para mangampanya ang mga tumatakbo para sa local positions at magsisimula ito sa March 29, 2025. Ang campaign period ay matatapos sa May 10, 2025. Hatol ng Bayan. Election Quick Facts.
Libreng access sa National Museum sa Cebu naging posible sa ilalim ng pamahalaang Marcos.
Museums are considered valuable cultural assets to a nation as they build a sense of community, document history, inspire creativity, promote tourism, and unite people through a shared heritage.
Ilang lokal at banyagang turista lubos ang pasasalamat sa pagbubukas ng National Museum sa Cebu.
Maganda, tsaka yung mga bata nag-i-enjoy talaga dito sa loob ng museum kasi madaming makikita. Marami silang matututunan dito sa loob ng museum.
we don't have that long to do this sort of cultural exploration. So we were drawn to coming to the National Museum of Philippines because we felt that it quite nicely condenses the history of Philippines for us.
Tuklasin ang mayamang kasaysayan ng bansa sa 5 galleries ng National Museum Cebu.
Tara na sa NMP Cebu. Bisita na kamo. We are open from Tuesdays to Sundays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Dali na!
Sa nagbabagong Pilipinas, patuloy ang trabaho, patuloy ang pagbabago.
Stop and Spot.
Paano tayo makasisigurong legit ang impormasyong nababasa natin sa social media?
Spot the source.
Hindi porke nag-viral, totoo. Kaya laging i-fact check ang impormasyong nakuha at tukuyin kung credible ba ang sources ng mga ito.
Spot the purpose.
Hindi lahat ng nakapost ay may mabuting hangarin. Ang iba ay may intensyong makapanira lamang. Kung sa inyong palagay ay hindi nakatutulong para sa mas nakararami ang impormasyon, huwag na itong i-share para hindi na magdulot pa ng gulo o pagkalito.
Spot the ownership.
Legit o edit? I-double check kung totoong nanggaling sa mga legit news providers ang impormasyon dahil baka edited lamang ito ng kung sino para magpakalat ng fake news. I-check muna ang kanilang mga official social media platforms para makasiguro.
Spot the time.
Updated ka nga ba? O baka outdated na yung balitang na-share mo? Siguraduhin na tingnan mabuti rin ang month, day at year ng impormasyong inyong binabasa upang hindi maging sharer ng mga lumang balita.
Let's be part of the solution. We can be warriors against disinformation and misinformation.
Maging mapanuri sa lahat ng oras. A message from Presidential Communications Office, Department of Education, Commission on Higher Education, DILG, DSWD, Presidential Broadcast Service at Radyo Pilipinas.
Sa kanyang SONA noong 2023, iniulat ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ang pagbaba ng presyo ng mga gamot.
Ang presyo ng mga mahalaga at pangunahing gamot ay bumaba ng humigit kumulang ng 40%. Mayroon ding iba na bumaba na hanggang 70%.
Nais ng Pangulo na magpatuloy ito, kaya't sa kanyang direktiba inilunsad ang Pharma Zones sa pangangasiwa ng Philippine Economic Zone Authority o PEZA. Paliwanag ni PEZA Director General Tereso Panga.
Meron na tayong pinakaunang pharma park sa Tarlac. Ang akala kasi ng iba, we're just into medical devices. Pero actually, we're already into drug manufacturing.
Sa Pharma Zones, mapapabilis ang proseso ng drug manufacturing. Magiging mas mura at accessible ang mga gamot. Ito ang hangad ng Pangulo para sa mamamayang Pilipino. Sa nagbabagong Pilipinas, patuloy ang trabaho, patuloy ang pagbabago.
Paliwanag mo sa tao na hindi totoo yan.
Dahil ang totoo, yung totoo ang dapat ninyong malaman.
Nagkalat sa internet ang fake news o mali at fake news. Tinatapon niyo yung tao. What they are doing is creating panic.
We say no.
Yung pagkalat ng fake news. And some of it's dangerous.
Sana iwasan po natin pag-spread ng fake news.
At di magpapakalat ng disinformation at misinformation ang kasulukuyang administrasyon.
Stop telling us fake news because you're wrong.
Para sa totoo at mapagkakatiwala ang mga balita at impormasyon, Radyo Pilipinas. Radyo Pilipinas World Service Online. Reaching you in digital format. Anytime, anywhere. From Manila, Philippines.
Welcome back to Front and Center. And today, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will witness the destruction of illegal vape products that about to be destroyed that is worth of millions of pesos, and that will take place in BOC compound or Bureau of Customs compound in Port Area, Manila today. And we are expecting a speech from the president himself. But in the meantime, here are some of the information that we got regarding that particular topic. Because this year, particularly in March 2025, the Bureau of Customs has seized over 112,000 unregistered vape products that has been misdeclared as insulated cap or cups at the Port of Manila. And during that inspection, it uncovered 233 cartons containing 46,600 assorted flavored vape products with estimated market value of, listen to this, 23 1,300,000 pesos, and supposed duties and taxes amounting to 30,204,936 pesos and 21 centavos. Just imagine of how much is the economy is losing into this illegal trade, particularly the illegal trade of illegal vape products. And upon physical examination, customs examiners discovered 66,150 undeclared vape products hidden among boxes of insulated cups. The illicit items had an estimated total value of more than 70 million pesos, with supposed revenue of 39,359,250. So that's the amount that is supposed to be remitted to the national government, and at the same time, this is being used in illicit trade. And of course, at the same time, a total of 112,750 unregistered vape products with an aggregated estimated value of 734,000 were seized from both operations. So hundreds of millions of pesos is being lost in the economy due to this illegal trade or illegal entry of these vape products. And also, January this year, the customs through the BOC Ninoy Aquino International Airport terminal has successfully condemned more than 150,000 pieces of vape products valued at 34 million pesos. So that seizures is in line with President Marcos Jr.'s directive to prioritize the protection of public health and national security. And the BOC continues to play a crucial role in ensuring the safety and well-being of the Filipino people against illegal and harmful goods, which threaten both the welfare of the nation and its citizens, which that makes sense because we are protecting the health of the Filipinos, and at the same time we are also generating income from legal products, and the government should continue to seize more illegal vape products because it not only it is not losing our income, but also it affects the health of the Filipino people. And I think the president is in the event right now, and he is about to witness the destruction of those illegal products that will be destroyed today. But in the meantime, Front and Center will be right back with these short messages.
Gusto mo bang dagdagan ang iyong skill? Tulad ni Darwin na 11 years ng technician. This time, change career siya sa welding sa tulong ng TESDA.
Nainganyo ako mag-welding. Nung pumasok ako sa TESDA, lumawak pa yung knowledge ko regarding sa bakal. Tapos hindi ko expected na maging trainer po, welding instructor po dito sa TESDA.
Ang pag-upskill ng mga kagaya ni Darwin, BBM admin goals yan.
This administration will continue to ensure the sustainability of jobs, upskilling and reskilling of our workers to maintain the productivity and the edge of our labor force and our economy. I'm certain we will not only survive but thrive in the evolving job market, ensuring no Filipino is left behind as we move forward.
Bawat buhay ay mahalaga sa Administrasyong Marcos. Kaya makakaasa ang bawat Pilipino na kaagapay nyo ang pamahalaan sa bago ninyong simula.
Isipin ang isang lugar kung saan ang progreso at kalikasan ay magkasabay na lumalago. Sa ilalim ng Administrasyon Marcos, ginagawang posible ito ng Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority.
Sa administrasyon po ni PBBM, nilaunch po namin noong September yung Carbon Neutral Freeport Zone. Ito po ay aming goal to contribute reducing our carbon emissions.
Hindi lang ito usapin ng teknolohiya, ito ay pangako. Sa SBMA, inuuna ang pangangalaga sa kagubatan, bakawan at natural na yaman para sa hinaharap ng bawat Pilipino.
We are working towards a steady and reliable power supply that will meet the demands of today and continuously fuel our ambitions for tomorrow.
Ang kalikasan at kinabukasan ay magkasabay na pinangangalagaan. Sa pamahalaang Marcos, ang bagong Pilipinas nakikita na. Sa nagbabagong Pilipinas, patuloy ang trabaho, patuloy ang pagbabago.
Saan man, anumang oras, konektado ka sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service Online. Online digital na serbisyo para sa Pinoy sa bagong Pilipinas. Radyo Pilipinas World Service Online.
And again, welcome back to Front and Center. We have just discussed about the illegal vape products that is continuously affecting the income of the government and at the same time affecting the health of Filipino people. And we have to thank the Bureau of Customs for its efforts in searching these illegal products because it not only affects the revenue, but at the same time, it only affects the integrity of our customs systems. And we should also think that, or we should thank the DTI in this matter because the agency is actively searching for some traders who are surreptitiously entering these illegal products coming into our ports. And as you can see right now in the screen, President Marcos Jr. is witnessing these illegal products that are about to be destroyed in the ports of Manila. And in the meantime, before we proceed to our program, we would like to discuss about the newly promoted generals over the weekend because a number or 32 newly promoted star rank officers has been promoted in a higher rank. Philippine National Police Director or Chief General Romel Francisco Marbil has advised the newly promoted star rank officers to be true leaders and not just holder of a general rank. Marbil said that the promotion of 4 major generals and 28 brigadier generals reflects the police force's strengthened commitment to strategic leadership, enhance operational effectiveness, and deeper community engagement. Marbil said in a statement, we don't just need generals in title. We need generals in character, leaders who can inspire, influence, and drive the Philippine National Police to become better each day. And he also added that their promotion is not merely about wearing new stars on their shoulders. It's about the impact they will make. And the police chief or the PNP chief noted that the threats and issues the PNP is currently facing, from cyber criminals to armed groups to election-related violence, he reminded the officers that communities look to us for leadership, security, and hope. And as leaders, the officers are expected to serve as the driving force behind the PNP's intensified initiatives to secure communities, ensure public safety, and reinforce institutional trust. And the police chief said that, quote unquote, I expect them to lead in building stronger police community ties, enforcing the law with integrity, and turning every police station, checkpoint, and patrol into symbols of competence, compassion, and credibility. And that concludes this edition of Front and Center, together with Radyo Pilipinas World Service production team and technical personnel Susan Aison, Hiro Lucero, and Leo Magbayo. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay, love the Philippines.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.